Alrighty, time to test this baby. I'm on the one with the 150 horsepower Mercury. We've got pretty much no wind, decent amount of swell out there today, about a full tank of petrol. So let's get going, shall we? So I've raised the windscreen just a couple of inches so I can actually sit down and enjoy no wind in my face. That took me all of 10 seconds to do. And first things first, I always like to check out the helm position when I'm at a new boat and just see how comfortable I am. And this one's good, you know. The seat's comfortable, the lower back support is great. Reaching the throttle, I don't have particularly long arms, but I can do that comfortably. But I can also feel if you were a bigger person, you would still have plenty of space to feel comfortable. Like there's more than enough leg room here and here for somebody to get their long legs in. Nice little footrests on an angle, which just ergonomically feels good, and access to the wheel. It's not an adjusting wheel, but I don't think you really need that. It's just fine the way it is. Moving around the boat, you know, doing my transitions, it's left hand like so. That's good, that's easy. And visibility is fantastic. So we'll get away from all these moored boats and we're going to think about getting this boat up on the plane. So I've got the trim tabs on this one, so I'll do trim tabs all the way retracted, and I've got the engine all the way down now. So I'm going to get the boat on the plane and just see how it feels. This is my first time driving one of these. I've only been a passenger so far, so you're going to experience what I'm experiencing. It should be a bit of fun. We'll just wait till we're clear of these fishermen up here, and I'll accelerate when we have some free water to do so. But first things first, I can notice, like a lot of boats, they'll want to sort of fishtail all over the place because that's largely down to their underwater profile. The Saxdor, I can feel the deep V keeping us on a nice straight line. I'm looking ahead, I've got a mooring just ahead of me, and she's tracking very well with minimal wheel input. Bearing in mind, I do have swell coming in from the port beam right now. This is not flat water, so I am adjusting for that. So I'm just gonna come around to the port side a little bit, get myself some runway, and here we go. We'll just bring the boat gradually onto the plane. 2,500 revs there, coming through 8 knots. So first thing I can notice, she's planing at 10 knots. I've got the wash just out to the side here, no trim tabs and engine down, planing very easily at 10 knots. Now I'm sitting up at 12. I'm going to assume the seating position, and I'm actually going to go a little bit wide because I can see some swimmers in the water, so I prefer not to chop anyone up today. That's just an easy cruise at 15 knots. I'm sitting on 2,900 revs, zero trim. This is comfortable. This is amazing for a 20-foot boat. So we'll just notch up that speed a little bit. So I really don't feel the need to do any engine trim up at the moment. We're going through some waves, just see how that behaves. That's good. Swimmers there, boat there. So what we're going to do is go the inside route, and we're just going over a couple of waves here. So this will be nice to see. I'm doing that at 18 knots and not a drop over the bow yet. So that's interesting. Very comfortable. Okay, so now I'm going to do a little bit of engine trim up and just see how she behaves. So no throttle change, but engine trim up, and I can definitely notice a speed increase just by doing 1 degree of engine trim. And we do have some waves here, so now I'm going to introduce some bow down with the tabs and see how that changes the performance. Yeah, that's nice. I think if you do have the bigger horsepower, you are going to appreciate these tabs because it's nice to be able to lower that cutting section into the water and smooth the ride out. But first things first, you know, if you're in social relaxing mode, this is relaxing. This is sort of hassle-free boating. So I'm just going to come around to the left now. Nice gradual turn. And I'm going to increase my power. So that's 3,500 revs, 23 knots, going through waves. This is good. So I'm going to do a couple of S turns now, and I'm going to assume the higher position for that. Comfortable. We're going into waves here. You know, this is good. This is really good. Noise levels are acceptable. Sure, you're not going to be having calm conversation at speed because it's an open boat, but this is not going to make you uncomfortable, so I'm okay with that. The ride for a 20-foot boat is fantastic. We'll go through these waves, and I'm going to lower my nose. So that's maximum trim tab down. And that's very impressive. We've got a power boat up ahead. I'm going to go straight into his waves. And let's see what this does to us. Nose down. G'day, guys. Not bad. Like, a little bit of water. That was a Riviera M430 making some waves. But considering the size, you know, if that was a 20-foot bow rider, we would have filled the cup holders up with water. So that's good. So now we're going to go down the waves. I'm going to raise the trim tabs. So now I've got the trim tabs in the up position. I have the engine down. We're going down waves. We've got, you know, 1 metre plus of swell behind us. Let's just see how this thing rides. We might even surf a couple of waves. This is fun. Oh yeah, I could get used to this. Tell you what, this has got thrills. This is smooth. It's predictable. You know, it's tracking well through this. Look at this. We're tracking straight here. I'm doing nothing. The boat's doing all of this for me. That's cool. I'm just gonna go through these waves here. Some boat wash, see what happens. I'm dry. Not bad. Not bad at all. Now I'm gonna cut around here. Actually, no, I'm gonna go straight. And then I'm going to cut around. Okay, so now we're coming back into the calmer water. Up waves, down waves, cross waves. It's predictable, it tracks. That's really comfortable. We got a little bit of water over the bow when we went through the wash. You know, that boat was 47 feet long length overall, so you got to expect it. And plenty of pickup. Plenty of pickup, plenty of control. This is a boat that you could give to someone who wasn't particularly confident behind the wheel. They're not going to stuff up. So this is unique. This boat is For a 20-foot boat, a lot of people are going to be used to your aluminium fishing boats or your American style bow rider, you know, wide, spacious boats. Basically, none of them are going to drive like this. This boat's got a unique hull design for a 20-footer, and you can tell. This boat's going to give you what many boats in this size range cannot, and it's wider horizons. It expands your horizons. It's a little boat that you can take to a lot of places and get away with it. So that's, for what we just experienced out there with some decent rolling swells, I certainly wouldn't even attempt that in many American bow rider boats that I've driven before. Going through some of those waves, we would have filled the whole boat full of water. And, you know, we've got a couple of sprays over the windscreen, but comparatively, that was nothing. So if that's you, if you want to expand your horizons, if you want to go further, or even if you want to hook it on the back of the four-wheel drive and just explore, this thing's worth checking out. I'm Dan Jones. This is Dan's Boat Life. See you on the next one.